There. Now we are live.
Oh, we're
We are
live.
live, Rob. Yeah.
We're live.
What's up?
So,
What's up,
so who
people?
are you, Dan? I've never met you before, but it says I'm a friend of Dan. So
Yeah, which Dan? It's not very specific. There's like 3 or 4 of us.
Oh, here we go. Let's do that.
We can make an edit. While you're doing that, what's up, home service homies and business nerdies? It's Wednesday night. Oh, Rob, I don't know if you're aware of this. Facebook got all weird and private, and now you can't go live to your group. So
you can only go from your personal page. That's what I saw in the.
Yeah, so you can only go, like, it took me a little bit on the radio show today to figure this out. Like, got to go live to your personal, and then you can like share it to places. So if you're out there and you're watching, do me a favor. There's Rob's getting all see-through on us, but give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give it a share to a business group that you're in, or just share it on your profile or whatever. So that this gets out there and beats the Facebook jerks. And what's actually super helpful is throw some comments in. What do you guys, we're just going to do like some Q&A and some BS, and we'd love you guys to be a part of it. So throw some comments in. What type of business do you run? Where are you located? And give us a little bit of like how the season's been going for you. April 24th, like what's going on out in the world? I'm hearing good things and I'm hearing bad things from a lot of our bookkeeping clients. I'm seeing good things and I'm seeing bad things. So it's a weird year so far. Like weather's been weird. Business has been weird. Weird things have been weird. A lot of weird.
Yeah, it's I'll say for us, like it feels like we are like stupid slow right now. But it's April. April is April. And it's
April is April, except for that 1 year when it wasn't. But most of the time, most other years,
1 year
it's always been. Yeah. Don't worry about that little guy.
It's helpful for us. We switched to like a $40,000 commercial gas station cleaning job to be in March, so we do it every 6 months. So March and September, April and October. April would be better.
Seasonality.
Oh, it's fantastic. And like the first year we were doing a bunch of it was like October, November, and it was like, this is great work. We love it, but it's also Christmas.
September's perfect too, because you're like kind of slow. You're still in the end of the summer lull, and March is perfect because it kind of kicks you in the ass to get you going for the season.
Yes, very much so.
That's what I think.
But like I had a goal to do like 120 this month because I wanted to, not because historically we even stood a chance.
For no good reason other than because Rob said
other than my gut says it, and I wanted to do it.
Yeah, my gut's right. We listen to my gut.
But it's cool to see. I mean, we're at 72. I've got another. Actually, let's see. We're doing a $3,000+ lighting job tomorrow. That's pretty cool.
Permanent lighting or landscape lighting? Or what kind of lighting?
Yeah, we got to remove lights, dude. It's the craziest hotel. It's very it's like where if your grandparents were like the steel magnet and stuff like that they go to, like it was just such a bizarre, like I went into it and I'm like, there's like birds tweeting and like
type of thing or what?
Yeah, but like old school, super classic, like just they probably have patrons that have been coming there for like 40 years.
Like a place where you would almost describe it as like, this place is way too nice for Rob and Dan to be in.
Yeah, this is a place that children under the ages of about probably 35 are not allowed.
Like, what about children around 40?
Maybe.
So we might be able to sneak in there.
Probably. Yeah, actually, dude, we would get kicked out so fast.
Yeah, gentlemen, you're gonna need to drop that backpack with all the beers in it.
Yeah,
you leave that and get your asses out of here.
Sir, we only serve 20-year-old scotch.
Although I feel like if they told us that, we'd be like, yeah, we know. That's why we have that scotch with us right here on ice. Chill. Do you need something?
This isn't from Prohibition. Oh, where's my... Actually, dude, cool story. When Tori and I were dating, we spent spent spring break with my grandparents, right? I know it's gonna sound like
Where
super
at?
lame, but like
Where at? Where is
Virginia
it?
Beach, and then my
Okay.
grandparents had a second house on the Rappahannock River. Call it the house in the country.
Yeah.
Um, and so we went down to visit them, and like we got this really nice steak joint one night. We go out to a lobster, like 2 for 1 lobster. So both of like all 4 of us had like a dining hall tray with 2 whole Maine lobsters, and it was like $20.
Yeah.
This is last week, right?
Hell.
This is I guess 21
Oh
years ago.
shit. We gotta quiet down. I saw Jeremy Brook just started watching, so
Oh
easy now.
no,
Oh boy.
Jeremy, I'm not dancing. Okay, I will not dance. Um,
Not even a
but no,
little.
so my grandfather's a member at this country club, and we go in for dinner, and he goes up to the bartender. He's like, "You got a bottle of Jack Daniels with my name on it back there, don't you?" Or like, "I think you got a bottle of Jack Daniels with my name on it for us." And legit, like they still have all the lockers from back when like they couldn't sell it to you, but they could store it in a locked cabinet.
Oh, and then you could come and get your
Yeah,
booze.
dude, it was super cool.
It's crazy.
So thought that was pretty sweet.
I want to do that. I would just get annoyed at how many times I'd have to lock and unlock cabinets in my house if I like locked booze away for myself. I'm like, oh, here I am again.
Yeah,
Good thing my beer fridge doesn't have a lock on it. That would get really annoying.
yeah. What did I
It's a
say?
lot of
So revenue wise, man, like last year we did just under 60, and we're at like 75. We'll probably finish at like 80, 85 for the
Oh,
month.
so you're still way ahead of last year.
Dude, we're way ahead, but it literally feels like we're pulling teeth. Like we're still dealing with pollen. We still got nonsense going on. Granted, April 2022, we did 80. So like,
Okay.
but that included a bunch of the gas station stuff then.
I was gonna say,
Uh,
so that 80 would have been 60 with that 20,000.
yeah, we kind of have to like average the March, April timeframe. And so like
Yep.
it's
Yep.
still, but that's really what it comes down to, like data, seeing your numbers, knowing your numbers, seeing your patterns and whatnot.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool little update too. I met this guy. He's in junk removal at a realtor event. Just fresh, I guess, graduated college in the spring last year, and so like he's doing this junk removal business and like talking about CRMs right now. He's just using QuickBooks, and I'm
Oofda.
like, yeah, yeah. I'm like, you gotta get off of that. But uh, it's kind of cool to just like, give somebody, he's like, oh, we're doing a home show. He's like, yeah, I got to get all this stuff. I'm like, don't keep your branding and stuff pretty basic for right now because you're going to change stuff. You're absolutely like, what's your grand idea for your branding and name right now? In all likelihood, from what you schemed up in college, is probably not going to be. I mean,
Yeah, this is gonna
we've
be your
we've
second of
rebranded 3
5
times.
renditions. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's gonna change, and so, like, don't go buy the big truck. Like, I was like, "Dude, stay as debt-free as you can for as long as you can," you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
So
Yeah, especially when you're just getting into it and you're just starting
mhm,
out. I had a coaching client today that was like, "Oh, like this guy was saying that my brand should do this, my brand should do that," and he just spent a bunch of money on like a pretty nice brand, and it like speaks to him. And the other guy was like criticizing it, the marketing dude, and I was like, I don't know, like it sounds like a marketing dude trying to sell you some more marketing shit. We you missed it today on Turfs Up Radio. We got into that real fast, and then Ben was on, and so he went into his story about how he when he gets those calls from like solicitors, he
mhm.
goes they think they're calling Ben Smith, owner of Marvel Sewer and Drain, but he informs them like that's just like a side hustle for him. His main business is jerking off bulls and collecting semen for artificial insemination. And he'll just keep them going for as long as he can. And so we probably spent 30 minutes talking about the business model and how we're gonna like perfect that business model, upgrading equipment and stuff, uh,
Dude,
to mass collect.
so somebody prank called the office yesterday and, wanted to know about if we were able to clean up bodily fluids. I'm like, I mean, if the money's right, we'll clean up whatever,
Yeah, is it
and then
inside or outside?
well, that was the thing. So it was outside, like it's on my house, and then I got to get it taken care of real quick, and then basically he was like, and it's on my neighbor's house, and um, he claimed to have jizzed on his neighbor's door.
And now
And
the
she
neighbor's
was
gonna
like, "What?" And then just hung up, and she's like, "If they call me back, I'm not answering." Fortunately, they didn't call back and, like, get Jill's office, because that would've, I mean, granted, that would've been hysterical, been like, "Brant, I need that call. I know you don't record it, but I know that it's all calls are recorded. Let's
yeah,
just
I'm
be
gonna
honest,
need that
it's all
one.
recorded."
That's a keeper.
Yeah.
So confirm that it was a prank call, or was it just like just weird enough that it was
No, that was
believable and then
definitely a
he
prank
hung up?
call. Um,
Duke did confirm that jerking off bulls is very lucrative. Um, Duke, since you're kind of semi-retired, Ben and I in this venture are going to need some labor, and you're probably the right height. Duke's like 6'5". He's probably the right height for this job. So we got a job for you, Duke. Bring you out of retirement. I got a couple little cool tidbits here for you, Rob.
okay.
We got a video on our YouTube channel that got 10,000 views. Thought that was
Dude,
pretty
that's
cool.
awesome.
10,000 views.
Was I on
It
it?
was no, it was Cole Sycophus and I talking about me
Ah,
being a beer Nazi back in the day. Like in college, I was known as the beer Nazi because I was frugal, kept track of all my beers, and if like a beer went missing, I knew about it. And if I borrowed somebody a beer, I expected to get those beers back, later on, maybe with interest. Um, so I don't know
you
why that
expected a
video.
16-ounce beer in return for a 12?
Yeah. I don't know why that video went, I won't say viral, but spiked to 10,000 when like most of it, like we're not really pushing the YouTube channel. By the way, if you're out there watching, go check out the YouTube channel. It's got all the cool snippets. If you're not interested in listening to Rob and I bullshit for an hour or two, you can just go catch us bullshitting for a few minutes at a time
Yeah.
on the YouTube shorts. So it's faster. Duke
And
says
intermittently disappearing.
yeah, every once in a while you just kind of fold back into those bricks there. It's cool. Duke says he's game. He's in for the bull work, the BS work.
Yeah.
What else was cool? I had a couple other like cool little tidbits that I thought of. They escaped me. I've been escaped by my tidbits. But I thought 10,000 was kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's a nice little number. It's a nice
Very
round
cool.
number. I think it's probably over that by now. Now it's probably like 10,005. So we're making it big.
It's 11 billion.
Yeah. I have seen some of it this spring, just back to like the flow
Yeah.
of business that
What
I'm
you're
seeing.
seeing.
Some of it this spring has been weather related. Like
Okay.
winter was weird. Spring kind of came early, but then it got like cold again in the north. It got like warmed up really fast. Everybody
Mhm.
thought it was go time. And then it was like cold for 3 weeks in a row. But it was like a false start, and now it's kind of back. And I'm seeing I thought of my other tidbits, so I'll get to my other tidbits. I'm seeing for most of our clients that they're kind of where they were last year. Nothing's like super gangbusters. A few people are growing at their usual pace, but the general like super growth that some people have seen the last, I'll say since COVID, especially,
Mhm.
that's kind of subsided. Things seem to be leveling off, and I don't know if it's economics or just like some saturation. Like there's been a lot of new entrants into the home service industry, and so I think at some point you just hit a saturation. Naturally. Ryan Clark in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to hear from you.
What's up, Ryan? Been a minute.
So I had just in the last week, I had 2 people reach out to me that wanted to sponsor the podcast. So I thought that was kind of turn them both down. Not this shit ain't for sale. No, one was a buddy of ours that I'm not going to talk about him and or his venture. I don't know exactly how he's involved in it. I don't even know the company, but it was a marketing related company. And I was like, I can't have a sponsor of a company that I haven't used. Like, I don't want to just sell my airwaves to. If it was a beer brand, it could be the shittiest beer, and as long as they just like gave me some beer to drink, I'm totally fine with that sponsor. Because like you can just go drink it or you don't need to, and it's just not that big of a deal. But cool.
Yeah.
But if it's like a marketing company, I wouldn't feel great saying, "Hey, this marketing company's awesome, and you should go use them," and then me never having used them. That one's just like a no-go for me. And the other was a CRM that thought I'd be a good spot to get them some publicity. And it's a CRM that we all know. Some people like it, some people don't. I haven't used it, and I haven't used it for
I
a reason.
probably have.
Every time I see it from a bookkeeping standpoint, it's like my least favorite one. And I told them that I was like, guys, I'm just not a huge fan, like from my end of things. I haven't operated with it, but I can't in good faith support your business. I haven't used it. And what I have seen, I don't really like it. It doesn't, my perspective is biased because I'm just trying to get data out of it. I've never operated with it. And so it was just, but it was cool. Like getting some, hey, I want to sponsor your shit. And it was also cool for me to be like, no, I don't want your money. But if you got a beer company and you're out there, or you got a koozie company, you can sponsor me with koozies with my logo on them.
Yeah.
I do have 2 sponsors now that I think about it.
Bush
Brought to you by Bush and Light. Brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. I guess like because I'm the one that brings it, so my company kind of sponsors it by default. And then Higher Lead Chill. Sean's on a lot, and I guess in the same way, now I own Higher Lead Chill, part of it with Michael Gregory, so naturally sponsor myself there. And I'd say the other person that like sponsors it with free labor is Angela Schroeder, Unique Genius VAs. She sponsors it with free labor, so she's kind of a show sponsor in a way. On the radio show.
She's a not so silent partner.
Yeah. But neither of us own any of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know
how non-equity based partner.
I don't even know what there is to own. Is there anything to own? Maybe if there was a sponsor, then there'd be something to own.
The trade names.
I own this microphone.
Ooh, look at that.
Good. Yeah. If you get closer, it gets louder. And then if you're back
here. Is that how microphones work?
Yeah, this one. That's what this one does. It's like
all I can think of is SNL sweaty balls.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just like that. Are you so you obviously have a lot of holiday lights. Are you going to follow this wave into landscape lighting or permanent lighting all year more? Or do you think
so
pressure washing?
Was it February? Yeah, I think February.
No, it's April. It's April 24th.
Well, back in February is when I did like actually, I think it was the day after I got back from either ice fishing or sales boost. Maybe it was ice fishing. We did a quick training thing, and I had a guy that we brought in to be service manager. He applied for sales. He did not do well at service manager. Went to sales, did okay, and just wasn't doing like he wasn't following the process. The best part was that like he quits one morning, and I'd gone to a networking event, pull 4 leads, and he didn't want to go run this one lead because I was like, dude, I networked, I met these people, like I'm going to go do this. It doesn't make sense for me to pass these off. I go to the one estimate that he was assigned, $3,000 house wash. Like, dude, just follow the process. Like, if you do the things,
you just go
it will work out okay.
It pays you to go do it, to go do your job.
But so I have a full, it's like Source, which is RGB version of cast lighting. I've got their full demo kit and stuff, and it's just been, I've taken it, it got delivered to work, then I brought it home, then I took it to work, then I brought it home. Now it's sitting in the garage with a bunch of other things that I just got to like mess around with. Like, I really want to make that happen because it's nice where we can then set up more maintenance plans for, February and August. Again, it's just kind of trying to find fillers for those slower times.
Yeah.
And
hey, like, because holiday lights get such a seasonal burst that it's the hiring and firing of that staff that is the biggest pain in the ass about that business model. So if you can find a way to like find the right people and keep the right people, makes holiday season a little more enjoyable.
Well, and we tried this year to keep more people on staff. I'm like phasing in and out. We're gonna call
you didn't even move, and you like disappeared 50% there.
Yeah. But we're just trying to figure out, like, I had to lay off 4 guys. We were trying to keep like 12 people on board, and it was like, it really and truly like hurt the business to do that. And we talked with both the guys that we kept, and also I was like, all right, so how do we set this expectation sooner for people too? Like, Hey, I want to keep you, you, and you. I'm kind of on the fence about the rest of you guys. Either show me I should keep you, or if you need help logging into Indeed or Craigslist, let me know.
We will help you get a new job.
Yeah.
That is the hardest part about like massive seasonality swings, is that it does burn the camaraderie a little bit of the team, because you just can't keep everybody. There's just not enough to. Some of those peaks and valleys you can handle, but when they get too drastic, you got to do something about it. And so if you're going to hire a bunch of people for a short period of time, then you got to fire a bunch of people not too long after that.
Yeah. And I mean, I was fortunate. My office manager was like, Rob, we got to do something. Like, it's got to happen. She was more stressed about it. Like, I knew I needed to do something about it. She's like, do it now. You know what you need to do. Just do it.
In terms of like letting some people go.
Yeah. 2 guys were like, you're just done. 2 guys, we said like, hey, we're going to lay you off temporarily for 6 weeks. One guy came back, and the other guy went and got involved with CDL truck driving and getting his training and stuff. So I was like,
that's good. Sweet.
Like he'd gotten with us to a spot where he was in, I'd say, an overall healthier position financially and stuff, and then got some stuff going better, which is good. So, I'm super pumped for him. Glad he's, he had his time with us, and now he's on his way to doing bigger and brighter things.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind the turnover where it's like you can help somebody elevate. Like that always feels pretty cool. Your business isn't going to be the right fit for everybody forever, especially in the home service space. I think it is a bit of a stepping stone. It's just not going to be a career for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think as the sooner you embrace that and recruit and make that expectation known that you're there to support them, and it'd be great if they stay with you for 5 or 10 years, but if it's 1 or 2 years of really hard ass kicking work and they can make a lot of money doing it, like that's awesome. When our mindset changed, or our success changed when our mindset changed about that, and we stopped feeling burned by it and started feeling like that was just part of our role, was let's embrace that and find people that and build a business model around that. And in turn, we tend to find young, super hardworking dudes. They're going to stick around for that period of their life. Maybe they're still living with their folks. Maybe they're going back to school part-time or whatever it is. And eventually they're going to go on to a bigger, better thing.
Yeah.
We're going to get some people that are going to stick around for a long time, but we're going to get a lot of people that are going to be 2-3 years max, and then going on and pursuing their degree or career in a different field. And maybe they'll come back. Or maybe like a manager position will open up, and then that's at the level they want to play at. But at least you're getting people that want to play at that level and have higher aspirations too.
And that's where I feel like with a lot of them, we had a large group of guys at one point, and by large I mean like 3 or 4 that like I knew that on our staff, like this guy's going into nursing school, he's just taking prereqs and this and that, like he will be done by such and such date. This guy is here during any school breaks, he'll help us out. We had another guy that was, I'm going to he wanted to get in the police academy. So it's like, cool, man. Hey, don't just like say, hey, by the way, I got into the police academy yesterday, so I'm not coming in anymore. Like, don't do that. But like, I had a buddy who he, was working for pediatrician and like their medical billing and stuff, and then things didn't work out there. And it was like, dude, it's been a couple months. You need to get out of the house and do some work. And I showed him like power washing 101 in about 10 minutes, and then he comes back the next, I was like, how'd it go? He's like, well, it doesn't run on Windows, but I think I got the house cleaned. Like, and it, at the end of the day, like it motivated him. And as a guy, like if you're not doing anything productive, you lose your self-worth. I mean, even if he sucked, like he would say he sucked at power washing, but he went out and did it. It was a way to, it gets your blood pumping. You're doing something.
I had that conversation with a coaching client today who's wife, they had a baby. The wife has been kind of like staying at home with the baby. I'm gonna guess like 6 months ish now, and so she's not at work anymore, and it like she's feeling cooped up. She's feeling like she's the only role she has is like keeping that thing alive, and she started working in the business more, and like kind of got the vibe back where like you just need to be doing adult things with other adults and feeling productive.
Yes.
I always say, I close out every show saying work smarter and harder. You got to go earn pride, because working smart and like you could be as smart as you want, and you could have a business that makes you all the money in the world, and you're sitting on the couch and you're going to be miserable. Like, you don't get joy out of sitting around, even if you have a thing that's making you a bunch of money, right? If you win the lottery, you're not like happy. You're happy because you go do hard shit. Now, if you win the lottery, like, it maybe enables you to go do other cool stuff.
Yeah.
You still need to go produce something and feel useful, because like being given something is way less redeeming and rewarding than earning something. And even if you don't earn a lot of money, like just going and producing something and doing value for somebody else is the fuel you need as a human.
Yeah. Well, I think, you've said that about Ben. He's built a business, he's got it all running, and now he's like, man, I'm just gonna go like DoorDash because I need something to entertain me. Like,
yeah. And or now I'm gonna start my bull semen collection business.
dude, there was something that you were saying in there that I had a whole another thought and idea, and now I've lost it.
Let me hit you with this. We got some comments rolling in. Zig says, I'm here. Zig, I just want to let you know Ryan Clark was here first, and he talked a lot of shit about you before you got here.
He definitely did.
Clay Davis recognized that you're here, though, Zig. So congrats.
So we basically have the fishing trip and honorary fishing trip.
Yeah, you said tit. That's funny. You didn't mean to. Curtis Turner in the house. What's up, Curtis? Rob, here's the thing. Yeah. Clay, this is a formal invite, and it's on air, so this is formal. It's official.
Okay.
And I just found this out, so I was like, oh, I should invite Rob. But then I was like, well, I'm gonna maybe be on with Rob. So now here we go. Clay had the spot in our Boundary Waters trip, and it's his grandma's 90th birthday, so he gets a pass. But like, when you do a Boundary Waters trip, you have to apply for a permit. So you get a permit, and you have to declare like how many people are going. And you do that. Like, our trip is the first week of June, but you do this permit in February. So it's like you're trying to get your group together, right?
Yeah.
So you know who's coming, and then you see who's actually your friend, and who flakes out. So Clay's got to pass, because I don't think at the time
he forgot which birthday his grandmother was having.
Yep. Danny Lear's supposed to come. Our buddy Danny. He's got his new book coming out, but then he's got business things going on. And like, literally before we had a group call Monday night, to like organize stuff and figure out who's bringing what and coordinate. And like right before the call, Danny was like, I can't come. So I already filled Clay's spot. Then I texted Zig, because Zig's an outdoorsy son of a bitch. I was like, Zig would love paddling into the Boundary Waters and doing that stuff. So he like entertained the idea, but he said he can't come. So this is you're the
what are the dates?
You're the fifth person that I've invited to try to fill our last spot. It is flying into Minnesota, June, either like morning of June 2nd, which is a Sunday, or like evening of Saturday, June 1st. We're paddling in Monday the 3rd. We're paddling out Saturday the 8th. Flying out Sunday the 9th, I think. Or maybe
I'm sorry to say, but that's somewhere. So we missed when you and I were singing "You're Welcome" for karaoke. That was when Brooke turned 18, and Ellie turns 18. She graduates. She has a
we crushed it
title, like all that.
You really skipped over how well we did. That song. Yeah, like I get that it was an 18th birthday, but don't just leave.
I mean, we did break the internet. We definitely did break the internet. Yeah, dude, that sucks.
So Clay's not my friend. Danny's not my friend. Zig is still kind of my friend because he was like, he never really committed. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ben bailed out, but Ben pulled the this one cracked me up. Like I booked it as an 8-man. It's like 6 or 8 is the right number. Eight's even probably too much, but we had 7 people. We figured we could get an 8th. I booked the 8-man permit, and then like 2 minutes after I booked it, Ben goes, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like he double booked himself, and it's his son's birthday. Like, which he was like, "I usually it's not a big deal, but I promised him X, Y, and Z." And Emily just reminded me. I'm like, literally like 2 minutes after. I mean, like
dude, Friday you could have done that,
and it's a permit thing where it's like it goes live at 9 a.m. and you got to get it. Like once they're live.
And so is it like live for that week? You have to jump on it right then?
I mean, so you're booking permits for the entire season. Like you're applying for the permit. And so the system opens up on February, whatever. And then you just got to go in there and apply. Curtis says the Boundary Water stories sound like some David Goggins type stuff. I don't know. So, I mean, like, there's some athleticism and like
it's an endurance.
There's some endurance, but so like here's a synopsis for anybody that's like, what's the Boundary Waters, or what does this entail? Why does it sound grueling? So it's like the most peaceful fucking vacation on the planet. But just like being a business owner, it doesn't come without a shitload of hard work. So last year we went in, and you've got it's a non-motorized zone with a bunch of lakes and like portaging in between them. So it's canoe, pretty much canoe or kayak, and you're loading it up with all your gear because you're going out however many miles and you're camping and staying out there. And you can either like bop around and camp at different campsites, or you can base camp. And the campsites are predetermined. Like they're well kept. They're maintained by the Forest Service, but it's like national forest. So there's no houses, no nothing. It's just pristine wilderness. Like we always filter the water, but you could just be in the middle of the lake, take a scoop and drink it if you really wanted to. Like it's super pristine. Nice. And so you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's first come, first serve to the campsites, which is why they have the permit system. Is the permits are per entry point. There's, I don't know, 40, 50 entry points. And so probably more than that, actually. 70, 80, 90 entry points. I don't know. So you apply for a permit to that entry point on the dates you want to go. And so they limit how many people can go in from that entry point at a time. And then you're just racing to whatever campsite you want. But people are coming in from different entry points. And like last year, our game plan was we're going 3 lakes in, but then there's like a creek in between and you're portaging here and portaging there. I think it was 7 portages all in all, which means like you're getting all your gear out of your canoe. You carry your canoe, you carry all your gear, which is like a lot of down, back. And a portage might be half a mile in some cases.
So you're really bummed that Danny, the
Danny would have been fucking great. Danny would have been the perfect guy to have on this trip.
Like, Danny, take all of our stuff. Yeah, man, I got it.
Oh, he would have loved it. And I think at some point he'll come. This is like totally up his alley. But like, ideally, you have enough. One year we did a trip where we literally just paddled like 4 straight hours to get to where we wanted to go. Paddling 4 straight hours is quite the toll on your shoulders and upper body and your back, like sitting in a canoe. So it's nice to have the portaging to like break in between, get out, stretch your legs, move around like a human for a little bit. But then by the time you're done portaging and going back and forth and hauling all your shit, because when we go, it's like a down back, or a down back down for sure. Like it's a 2 tripper. And for 1 or 2 people, it might be a 3 tripper because we base camp it. And so we got a lot of gear. In fact, I won't show you, but because I closed the window, this year we're bringing an inflatable couch and the air compressor to do it. So just, like, it's funny being way the hell back in there. We bring a tarp that we hang over the entire campsite. Like we go find the campsite we want and we don't leave. and we bring in our heaviest bag is usually the booze bag. Like you don't bring beer in there just because it's too heavy, but we'll bring like 9 or 10 175s of booze in there. And then you bring Mio, like the water flavor squirt, and we're constantly filtering water. Like we have a couple water filters and we got a 5-gallon like water jug. So we're constantly running water through that and making cocktails. And then you're just like canoeing and fishing for an entire week. That's just what you do.
Well, so clearly you're not freezing the fish. You're cooking it right then and there.
Oh yeah. Our goal is like you minimum of 1 fish fry a day for dinner.
Yeah.
But like if we're doing well and the heartburn's not too bad, we'll do 2 fish fries a day. Like,
nice.
A lot of fish fries, a lot of mixed drinks with green or grape or blue, whatever neon color of Mio you want. You know, there's a lot of options. You could do red, you could do pink, you could do orange. But it's a cool trip. I wouldn't say it's David Goggins like, because it's a lot of work going in. Like last year, it took us 8 hours to get into our spot, and it was kind of hell. We thought we were getting to a campsite. We got there, and like 6 sites in a row were taken. We ended up getting the best campsite ever, but we were like paddling and we were dead. He said, is there road access for them to maintain the sites? No, everything is just out on islands and peninsulas. And so they send crews out for days at a time to go like make sure the grade is good. Each one has a latrine too. So there's like a shitter back in the woods that is kind of maintained. But when you go, you always bring a bottle of bug spray with you. You definitely need a lot of bug spray.
There was when we went tubing, when I went with JC, Brett, and Ryan in Asheville, they definitely had like, and I guess to also partially deal with bugs, they like literally had like, oh, here's the little deck in the woods. Go climb up this deck, go into your like enclosed spot, and now just take a dump into a trash can that's hanging out below you. But hey,
kind of sounds like ice fishing.
Yeah, you're like 15 feet up in the air though.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Bombs away! Look out below!
Big splash.
Cowabunga! Curtis said, if I remember right, last year you went through a damn hurricane. That was 2 years ago. Me and my buddy Moose capsized in like 40-degree water. It is as cold as it sounds. Like, and I'm not an ice bath son of a gun. And we're wearing like rubber boots and rain gear. Like we are very geared up. Maybe we didn't have rubber boots on. I think we were just rocking like Keen open sandals and our feet were freezing. But it was like cold out. The water was really high and it was rushing. Super windy. Like 3-foot waves on a small lake sort of wind. And then we capsized, not because of the wind. We capsized because like the water rushing out down a creek. And we both took a paddle on the same side of the boat at the same time. And the water claimed us. And it was I mean, you see, if you watch somebody do like an ice bath, they like, you can tell their breath gets taken away when they get in the water, and it totally takes your breath away. I mean, like we fell in that water, and we were both just like I was trying to talk to Moose, and I was like, like I can't get words out of my mouth. I'm just sucking. Like he was pulling down the front of the canoe, trying to like pull himself up, but it was then flooding the canoe, which had all of our gear in it, which is all in like dry bags and stuff, but stuff was starting to fall out, including my like 8 fishing poles and all my gear. We only lost 1 bag, but I dragged it with like it was a floating bag. But I was like trying to tell him to stop pulling down the canoe and stop. And like we have life jackets on, so just fucking swim and like pull the canoe with you instead of pulling it down. But man, it was really hard for me to like spit that out in 40-degree water. But we made it. It's all part of the Boundary Waters fun. But I definitely do bring a Garmin, whatever the Garmin thing is that has like the sat phone call for help SOS thingy. I don't know how to use it, but if I'm about to die, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out. So you're out, but you never said you were going to come, so you're still my friend.
No.
That's all good. It's all good.
I would definitely be interested, but yeah, that timing does not.
There was a 19th birthday. Fuck them,
dude. So like the second when we were actually ice fishing, Ellie had like her senior rock and roll performance and everything, and like I'd already seen. We got to go to opening night. She did phenomenal, and like the last show, granted, would have been watching the same songs and everything, but it's like the emotion there.
Yeah.
But like that was I hope I don't get crap for many, many years about that.
Yeah, they could hold
There's
that
still
one
a
over you.
possibility.
Yeah.
But like I still went to stuff. But yeah, 18.
That's the problem when you have 78 kids, Rob.
Dude, well, so talking about going to stuff, man. And shoot, I'm trying to current jobs. Did I mess that up? No, I didn't. Um, I'm gonna probably only be able to go to the like half of the huge. Just throwing it out there.
I'm not gonna be there this year.
Oh, well, damn, I don't even need to go at all then.
Yeah, you should be fine. No, I got an elk hunting trip. It was originally gonna be over the huge, like same
Mm,
time when Ben and I were gonna be gone. And then he ended up drawing a different tag. And so we're gone for like 2+ weeks in Arizona in September. And either way, I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm gonna probably restrict all fall travel because we're gone for 2 weeks in Arizona, and then we get back, and then we're gone on a fishing trip like the next weekend. Or it's gonna be a real test of our marriages. We'll see
mm,
if our wives truly love us after like 3 weeks on the road.
yeah,
Damn, I really hope we come back with some meat, or we're really gonna be in the shit house after
yeah.
that. We'll see. But no huge for me this year. I'm out on the huge.
You're not gonna be in a suit that you buy from like the Dollar General.
Nope. Hey, that was an expensive suit. I paid good money for that suit. I got I forget if it was Men's Warehouse or whatever. I like loaded up on suits at one point
Buy
in
one
time.
suit, you get 7 suits free,
Yeah, it
but
was
you
one of
don't like to
those.
wear suits.
Yeah, but you don't actually like them. But you because Marty and I wear like Marty and I wore suits. I wore a suit when Marty and I got married. Because I was like, I'm not renting a damn tux. Like I'll get something I can wear. So I had it. Also, I was in the corporate world for a while, and I needed suits for when I went into like corporate headquarter things, corporate things. So I have a few nice suits. But the only time they come out is for the huge, which I think is stupid. Like I'm not all about that. I don't like the fake dress up stuff. It's not my jam.
Yeah.
Um, I also didn't really like the whole convention floor smelling like a big toilet last year. That also
Yeah.
isn't my jam.
Didn't
I
really
was
bother me, the whole not being able to smell
gonna
anything.
say, could you smell it at all? Could you taste it?
No,
Like it
it
was pretty pungent. Could you taste it?
it's one of those things like I was telling somebody, we did big gutter cleaning for a cannabis dispensary down here, and like a big cannabis dispensary. And I walk in and I can just tell like the air's the air felt heavy.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know if
all I
it
got.
smells like weed in here, but it
Dude,
feels like weed in here.
like it's just like there's a whole lot of stuff going on in my nostrils and in the air right now. Like that's
Yeah.
literally the only reaction I got. Um,
I've got a sensation going on. It's
yeah,
not I can't say it's smell, but it's a
yeah.
sensation. It's a
Well, and at the
touch.
at the huge, I would say like walking in there, already heard everybody complaining about it. Um,
So then your
I
mind's
think
already
I
kind of
think it
made
was
up that
something
it
where it's
stinks.
like I just kind of assumed that Ugh.
Get it.
with the amount of people that were there and all the things that were going on in that room, like there's smells of stuff. Somebody could spill a whole, fiver of Apple wash and I wouldn't know. Other than the big blood stain on the floor.
This is a pretty excellent comment. Zig said, "My wife is out of town. My 5-year-old is sleeping in my bed. He's laying here next to me, and I thought he was asleep, but I guess he's been listening. Out of nowhere, he says, 'Dad, I don't want to be a grown up. This sounds boring.' Then is this Tommy Mello?
Yeah. I'm Tommy Mello. I'm worth $7 billion. Um, dude, I'll say I messaged him after Sales Boost or like when he did his presentation, and it was good. Like Sales Boost, the presentation he gave there was different. It was, or at least different enough from the other one that I've heard multiple
Yeah,
times. Um, what do we do next? Or what should we do? Like this book that he recommended,
yeah.
phenomenal information. It's a great way to take a lot of the pressure out of sales, but also a lot of really smart and strategic things in it. Um, so yeah.
I didn't look up the book. I'll have to look up the book. I just had to now this is gonna be like nonstop. Zig
And
said,
this Zig is where your kid is like, Dad, don't post it on the internet.
yeah,
You're
stop
like,
typing stuff.
already did, son.
Yeah. Zick says, and now he says, why is he saying everything I just said? And now he's going to say, why did he say that? It's too funny. Kids, man. So Rob, if April's coming along, probably going to be, are you going to, like, between March and April, even with last year, ahead of last year? Last year, I felt like you had a bunch of, like, team rebuilding stuff, so it kind of caused you to get out of the gate slow. Like,
Most of that like June was when like all the shit hit the fan and we
okay.
had to turn over like everybody, and then built a whole new team for second half of July or June, all of July and August, and then like all gone again. Like we literally just, it was bad.
Are you just struggling to find, like, the right manager person that can keep them, or what
eh,
do you think is causing it?
the I don't know. I had like 3 or 4 people all leave for different reasons at the same time. We'd gotten to a point with my service manager that for his own sake, he needed to move on. He had some personal stuff going on too. And, granted, that's why I look at it. Like, I'm sure there are things that I could have done differently. But also we haven't found his replacement yet, or a successful replacement, but
Yeah.
getting somebody in that position to help us grow from 1 to 2 to 3 million, and beyond, it's just a different person,
That's a
you know?
tricky role.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly evolves, and some people are able to evolve into it, and I think that he just, quite frankly, had a lot of stuff going on that needed to, um I think he moved out of state, like, he needed to, it was good for that. We had a
Yeah.
guy get a job in the oil fields, a guy, that really liked him. He just kept having callbacks, and, like, it wasn't lack of trying, it was just
He just didn't
dumb
have
thing after dumb thing after dumb thing, and they had a kid. He had gone on an interview already with a plumbing company, and it's a good plumbing company. They got a great culture and great vibe and whatnot, and he left, and, I had another guy who's, moving back home, and it was like, well, and the guy who was going through nursing school, and it was like, I didn't understand why the guy who was going through nursing school was even still here. It's like, dude, you should
Yeah.
be doing something medical related. Like,
Yeah.
I won't
Yeah.
I won't fault you at all. Like,
Anything.
yeah,
Just
screwing in
go
light
get some
bulbs is not
reps.
advancing your career,
Go get some
like,
reps.
whatsoever. The most of what I brought on for the summer was, um, I would say more desperation. Um,
The old dumpster hires.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, and we had our biggest project ever in July. Um, you know, collective experience was like a month to 2 months per person. Um, it was hot, it was a mess, lots of stuff going on.
I want to so one thing I've gotten right so far in best damn bookkeeping, and I have a little bit of an advantage since I own part of a recruiting company.
Mhm.
Um, but I was just gonna look at my data here. I gotta get in, but I closed out all my windows, and so my tab that had our go high level open with all my data in it, it's closed out,
Dude,
and now I
have
need to,
have
like,
you
remember.
seen, Baywatch? Like the new movie
Oh, there's a
with
new
The Ro
movie?
with The Rock and Zac Efron?
I don't think I have.
Dude, it's hilarious. So at some point, like Zac Efron, he's just like the good looking guy who's really athletic but has no brains, and he's like, tell the hacker guy. So like, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bust through the firewall, and then we're gonna like smash all their cookies and stuff, and like plant a virus, and it's gonna blow up the thing. And the guy's like, literally nothing of what you just said is actually possible.
Sounds about right. Um, Here's my dashboard. So I had obviously I used our recruiting service. I still need to, like, order some of these. Um, but now I'm curious how many total applicants I got. And I was just hiring for our account manager role. I think we moved a bunch out. Oh yeah. I can't see them all. the low score rejected ones aren't in here.
Mm.
But not including the ones that automatically got filtered. I have like another 175 to 100 that are like through the first round of filters. And then I just kind of shut it down because I have 10 people. No, I have 12 people in my list of like, here's people that could do this job.
Mm-hmm.
And of that list, like 6 or 7 of them, I'm like, God, I just want to hire these people. Like, shit, I need to grow this company more so I can hire these people. But I'm looking down the list now. I'm like, yep, probably, maybe, nope, yep, maybe. There's only like 2 of these 12 that I've like gone through a second round interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already hired 3 of them. So that's like hired 3 of them. And I want to say it was probably like, granted, I'm hiring a professional position instead of a producer, but they are producers in this role. But I love I was worried about filling this job and trying to find somebody that like had the right finance ability to like talk to clients and teach them about their P&L. And I think I told you when we were ice fishing, I'm at Sales Boost, like I have them recording videos for our clients. Oh yeah, because you were in the backdrop of the one interview I was doing at Sales Boost.
Yeah.
I slowed down my interviewing because now I just have so many people, like I can't hire them all in the next year even. But I love having this like hopper list of people where it's like I know who I'm going to call first, who I'm going to call second, who I'm going to call third. And I feel like when we don't have that, it does cause us to like reactively hire shitty people. And when we have that, we just like we can have a bunch of people that we think we want to hire. And I'm like the most guilty of this. If I just interviewed enough people to hire like one of these people, I would just hire the first one because they're capable and I'm gonna give them a shot. And now that I have 12 of them, now that I have 12 of them, I'm like, oh, like there's some really good ones, like really good ones, and I can't hire them right away. I already have 3 really good ones that I'm like super excited as they are growing and getting up to speed. But now I've got a whole bunch more people that I'm like, shit, we better grow this thing to get them in here. And I find just running our businesses is so much more enjoyable when we don't have to worry about the employee side of it.
Yeah.
And
that's where I got to get some stuff going on.
I think it's better. I think it also is the thing that attracts and keeps good employees too, is they don't want to work with shitty employees. So if you do end up dumpster hiring, you're so much more likely to lose the people that you have because now they're stuck working with a shitty person. And that kind of like ruins it for them. And so I want to say I spent like $1,000 and just like getting this all. That's like not including the recurring fee. And again, it's a professional position, so I'm hiring across the U.S., so it's a little bit different. But I'm like thrilled about that. I feel like that has unlocked our ability to scale this business.
We got to talk more about that at ClipCon then.
Yeah. I don't.
You heard you're going 8 a.m. I'm going at 9, or it's 9, 10, and 11. It's you, me, Melody.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Okay,
dude, I gotta tap out. It's been fun.
Cheers. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for filling in when I had a guy lined up and then he just ghosted. He might as well have been a shitty employee. He just ghosted.
Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe he'll come on.
Work smarter and harder, guys, and drink harder.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Rob. Appreciate you, man. I'll see you next week.
Yep. See ya.
Peace. All right, business nerds. Rob is out. I'm out. I got work to do. I got to go grow this business to hire all these people. So thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys. Work smarter and harder, I think was what Rob was trying to say. And until next time, peace.